So I had like by mistake practiced an intro, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna say this when I started doing the video, and my whole spiritual team was like, absolutely not. This is unscripted. You remember that, right? This is unscripted. You don't get to pick and choose what you be saying when you first get on. So I was like, damn, fuck, all right, if that's how y'all want to do it. So, anyways, whipping it out. That's what's best. I'm back. These are getting easier. I know it's probably only been like a couple videos, but they're getting easier. And because I'm not allowed to watch them back, and by not allowed, I mean my spiritual team has been like, hey, yo, don't watch those back. You don't need to go back and watch them back. Because they're probably saying that because I critique myself, like I over critique myself. Like I will look at something and analyze it. And if it's not my version of perfect, then I'm deleting the whole thing. That's how it is. But there was one note that I actually was doing some meditations this morning, and there was one note that I received that I could talk about in the video today, and I'm very, very happy that I received something. And I think it's because they felt me. My team was like, this bitch is chomping at the bit. She needs something. I was like, y'all can't do this to me. Y'all can't have me out here every night bearing my soul for, I was gonna say hundreds of people to watch, but that's probably not that many of you out there right now. I mean, if there is, thank you for being here. Whoa, let me fix this because I don't like how that looks, and that's gonna bother me the entire video because I can see myself. All right, it looked good. So, one thing that I could share that I guess is kind of starting off this video, I don't think this one's gonna be very long. I'm feeling this one's not gonna be very long. So I might not actually have a lot to say, but I'm actually here tonight to share a message of hope. And that's so nice, and it's so positive that I can talk about some of my life from like the perspective of hope. So YouTube is where I am posting these, and I find that so interesting because 90s kid, when I first experienced YouTube, there wasn't a lot on there. Like, it was pretty boring on YouTube before. There were no giveaways, there were no YouTubers, like there weren't gaming streamers, influencers, makeup gurus, forget about it. None of that shit existed. It was purely like you had a couple of people who kind of posted like recordings of them gaming, but nobody had setups, nobody had green screens, triple monitor. Who the fuck is that? Nobody knows what that's about. And it was at the very beginning. And get this, it was before the ads. I've been mad about that for years. I've been mad about YouTube being like, yeah, so we're doing ads now. I've been so salty about that. And I know that it helps content creators who do get monetized and who get paid, and I totally understand that. But anytime I see an ad for a massive company, I'm like, skip. I'll skip the shit out of my ad. I don't care. So if for any reason in the future there's an ad on my video, skip that shit. Skip it. Don't wait. Don't be like, no, this could help her. Bro, you have a finite amount of times in this physical reality, a finite amount of time. So I want you spending it doing what you love to do, which is getting the content that you want, not watching a fucking ad. Ain't nobody got time for that. I just heard my clothes done in the dryer and I got really excited. Bro, when I tell you cleaning simulators, bruh, that's my shit. Anyways, message of hope. I have a message of hope. So I remember seeing YouTube blow up, and it became this place where a lot of people could come, a lot of people could record content, and it really, for me, was the beginning of putting yourself out there in a way where people could see you consistently. Like, if you were posting consistently, people would see you. Now, like on MySpace, for those of you that remember MySpace, you couldn't really see people. Like, people commented and stuff, but really, we were all about the, the theme of our computer screens and what song would play when you clicked into that shit. I find it so funny that has, like, elevated over the years. Like, at first, I remember when I first had a phone and I was like, this shit is going to pop, and I literally recorded a song. I do not remember what the song was, but I recorded it. Like I played the song on, like, I think it was my grandmother's computer, and I played it and I held the phone up to the speaker, and then I turned it down and I was like, hey yo, this is you miss me, I'm out here doing big shit. I really thought I was on it. But it's funny how we went from that to MySpace, and there's probably stuff in between that I'm missing. But there are a lot of gaps in memory up here. But like went from that to MySpace, where it's like you click and a song starts playing, and that is like your thing. Now I know some people were like, this is my song. Nah, I had a song of the day every day, because every day it's a different song. If people ask me what's your favorite genre of music, I had to pause because I was about to tell a lie. I actually do have, I think, a favorite genre of music that I listen to when I want to feel good, and I always want to feel good. I don't like being sad and depressed. I don't like that. So when I want to feel good, EDM. Like, I'm super into EDM. Like, today I was running errands. I was in this Toyota Sienna. I was in this minivan, and I was going off. I had my phone hooked up to the aux cord. The music was bumping, and funk. Oh my gosh. Funk music, like Phonk. That shit. It heals something in me. It scratches many itches in the brain, in the neurospicy brain. Yes, message of hope. Coming back. Reel it in. Come on now, girl. You got this. Focus! I think about the live action Jim Carrey The Grinch that Stole Christmas, and when he asks his dog's Max for a specific wrench, and the dog comes back with a different wrench, and he's like, I asked for this, not that. Stay focused! And that literally is how I be feeling all day. Like, come on, brain. Work with me, please. So, message of hope. It's connected to YouTube. We're getting there. Then, after, people were posting themselves a whole lot, then it started to get to the point where I started seeing like makeup gurus and influencers, and I'd be saying the stuff that I watch, so I know there was so much other stuff on YouTube. Like, there's actually a guy that I follow who flies planes, and he's a pilot, and like, he's not like a pilot who flies like commercial airlines and stuff like that, but he has his own plane. And he'll be like, yeah, so this is how I check my plane and stuff. And I'd be over there eating chips in bed like, damn, one day I'm going to have a plane, so I need to know this. I ain't going to have no goddamn plane. But, wishful thinking. But I started to see that stuff. And then I started to see a bunch of negativity. And that came up around, like, YouTubers who were getting super big, and they started making money off of the content that they were making, not just on YouTube, but, like, they had maybe Etsy. I don't remember when Etsy became a thing. But, like, they started selling merchandise and things like that, and we started seeing a lot of toxic behavior online. Toxic behavior, like, playthroughs of people playing Call of Duty online, and when somebody hops into Call of Duty online because she enjoys first-person shooters, there would be a person camping, waiting, and then as soon as I spawned, that person from wherever the fuck they were constantly sniping me, and I gave up gaming forever at that point. I was so young. Whenever that Call of Duty game was out, I want to say that was middle school. I'm pretty sure that was either middle or high school. It was when I was emotionally vulnerable, because I remember, again, sharing about my past, I remember loving first-person shooter games. I played Mortal Kombat Deception, my stuff. The Zelda games on the GameCube, my stuff. I actually really liked Project Gotham, the vehicle racing game. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was in that Volkswagen Beetle, Ghost in the Whip. I was in there. And I loved video games. But then stuff like that started happening, where I would be in public platforms and I would be treated not so great. And I know there were other games that were like, oh, what about, there was a game where penguins were centered. And I was like, what about this penguin game? And I was like, nah. Don't let the username on my channel fool you. I'm out here for the heavy stuff. Give me Call of Duty. Like, and I'm sure there was other like first-person shooters. I actually really like first-person shooters. I like the bouncing of the camera. I know sometimes it gives people motion sickness, but I love it. I adore it. Especially if there's a story involved. I do not care for online, primarily because I've never had a group of friends to play with. Message of hope. I promise you, listen. We're working on it. So I started seeing all that toxicity, and it just, like, there was more and more stuff. And then, like, a few years ago, I started seeing, like, a bunch of negative stuff popping up with popular creators. I won't name names because I don't remember all of them, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm really an out of sight, out of mind person. If I stop watching somebody for, like, a week, I actually love how my memory works. I love Dishonored. Dishonored is a video game where you are first person. It's a stealth game, solo player. If you haven't played it and you like stealth, do it. do it. It's no Metal Gear Solid, okay? But do it because it's so good for you. Actually, this tattoo is a Dishonored tattoo. This trash polka tattoo that I have that you can't see because I'm in here and the lighting is bad. But I love that game. And every 6 months, my brain, click, click, it forgets. It just opens up a little hatch and empties. And I can play that game as if I've played it for the first time. I'll be like, what? That's crazy. I can't believe that guy did that. I can actually believe that he did that because I've played this game before. But my brain, I love that I can forget that stuff. I don't love when I forget things, and it's not on purpose, though. But favorite game of all time, you should go look it up if you're a new gamer. If you're a person who is like myself, who really started getting into gaming when you crested into your 30s, or you're like a late bloomer, or you're a young person watching this video. Hi, young person. And who would be a young person? I don't know. Do you believe you're a young person? Well, if that's you, and you are just now getting into gaming, and you're like, what game can I play? I suggest you not hop on online games unless you have friends that you can play with. Because if you hop on an online game, this was supposed to be about hope. I think everybody should play online games. Yeah, I think they should. I'm getting back into it. But rewind. Message of hope. So, okay, so I started seeing things, and it confirmed my experience. If I didn't say it, the Call of Duty experience was real for me. I loved that game, and I enjoyed playing. The problem is when I would get online, I would run into asshats, and those asshats would make it very difficult for me to enjoy the game. And I've actually watched streamers, and I've commented and been like, how in the hell did you get over people being assholes in games? And they're like, man, I just kept playing. Come on, you got it, Tato the Penguin. Keep your chin up. And I'm like, okay. And then I go back to my room and I'm like, but I still don't have the confidence. But I started seeing a lot more positivity like a few years ago. And I think COVID really did it. I really do think 2020 was the year where I started to see a lot more people coming together as a community. And what I'm seeing now are a lot of people who are even big time celebrities. I had been saying 2024 was the year of everything that was being done in the dark was coming to light. And I had felt this. And I'm not the only person who is a spiritual person who thinks this. There are a lot of people who think this who are not spiritual, who I know. I'm seeing a lot of people be like, 2024 was really the you fucked around and now it's time for you to find out. So we're seeing a lot of celebrities getting called out for stuff that they've done. Politicians, like YouTubers, influencers, celebrities. Like, I know I've already said celebrities. But we're seeing a lot of that happen. And the message of hope is, oh my gosh, 13 minutes in, we made it. There is room for you. There is so much room for you here. There was always room. But negativity can sometimes, for me, I don't know about you, but negativity can sometimes have an all-encompassing, very dark, like overwhelming essence to it. It's like how the dark side of the Force be clouding everything, which I always find funny, that the dark side of the Force be clouding everything and Master Yoda can't see shit. However, the dark side knows everything that the good side is doing, and they got all the supreme weaponry. This is a conversation for another time. But I know that when it is dark, I always think about, now I think about The Wizard of Oz. Like, I'm hearing it even now. Like I just got, like, this little download of the Scarecrow saying from Wizard of Oz, well, you know, it always gets darker before it gets lighter. And the way he said it, it makes me cackle every time I think about it. But that, I believe, is what has happened. I am thinking 2025 is going to be a really good year. Future me in 2025, if it's not a good year, I'm sorry, bro. If it's not a good year for us, I'm lying to your face right now. And I'm kind of laughing at you from the past, because if it gets bad, I didn't experience that. Like, this year has actually been very tame for me. I mean, the shadow work is absolutely beating my ass. Like, literally every day, it's just like, it's like coming for me. It's like bows. I had a clothesline the other day, and I was like, I'm experiencing shame that I got from when I was being super, super strictly raised in the church and I was told just to shut up and follow. Like, yeah, that stuff's been heavy. I've healed through a lot of that. A lot of my religious and church related trauma I have healed through, but I still struggle with a lot of the beliefs that were kind of placed upon me as a tiny baby running around being like, yeah, I'm just trying to live my life. And they're like, that's cute. Anyways, this is what happens. You gonna go to hell if you don't do what we tell you to do. And I know that's not everybody's experience. I know that's not every religion. I know that's not every church. That is my disclaimer. Should have said it first, but you know, I mean, if you're still here. Actually, if you are here, I had an experience today where I was blessed by a bee. And I didn't think it was a blessing, and then I spoke to one of my best friends, and she's amazing. And I have to see, because I talk to her all the time, so I need to know how she wants me to refer to her in these videos. You know who you are. How do you want me to refer to you in these videos? What name would you like me to use? But she looked it up for me, and I was actually at the gas station today, doing my thing, getting gas, making shit happen, right? And a bee flew into, it didn't fly into the car. If it flew into the car, I didn't see it fly into the car. I back out of my parking space, and I'm like, yeah, bumping the EDM. What was I listening to? I think I was listening to Come Alive by JJ Floors and, what is it, DJ Smooth, JJ Floors, DJ Smooth, something like that. Bro, that whole album, a bop. I think it's the Chicago tour. Shit was fire. I'm driving, I pull into traffic, you know, I merge appropriately, you know, I drive, you know, I'm a little old lady when I drive, you know, I'll be chilling. I mean, one day I hope to get my motorcycle license. That's coming. But anyways, I go out there in the road, and as I'm driving, right here, a bee, and I was like, oh my God. And I almost crashed the car, and then I remembered, ain't nobody got time for that. So I froze. I was driving like this. And I was like, it's okay. And the bee was here. And then it landed right here on my shirt. All my windows were down. I'm in a minivan. All the windows are down. The wind is going. And the bee is just hanging on for dear life. And I was like, so is this how I'm going to die? Is it literally, spoilers if you haven't seen Bridgerton, is it literally going to be like in Bridgerton when your guy got stung and he died? Is that going to be me? But then the bee was here. And then it like flew down here. And then I don't know where it went. It never stung me. And so I told my bestie this, and she was like, oh my gosh, you was blessed by a bee. And I was like, bitch, DK blessed by a bee. What you mean by that? And then she sent me a screenshot, and I was like, oh damn, I was blessed by a bee. But, so yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, comment a bee in the comments. Let's fucking go. We made it there. Did we ever get done with the message of hope? Sometimes, 2024, it was dark. Gets darker before it gets lighter. I believe 2025 is a good year, and I think things are already starting now. A lot of the people who are close to me, and people I'm seeing who are not close to me, who I'm witnessing on social media, because even though I was like, fuck a TikTok, I am on Instagram, and I am here on YouTube, and I be chilling. I be big chilling. And I'm seeing a lot of positivity. I don't know if it's because I be block. I'm super big with the block button. I used to think blocking people was insulting. I used to be like, why would you block somebody? What'd they do to you? It's kind of like honking your horn in a car. I'm like, why would I honk? I could scare everybody. If somebody's merging onto me, I could like slow down and speed up. No, this is the year of authenticity. I am being authentic. If you're merging on me, you finna get this horn. If you come into my space on some negative bullshit, block. You getting blocks all around. What's that? It's a block. You know, if all else fails in my life and I do nothing else, I'm really happy that I have the ability to make myself laugh. One of my biggest concerns about having children in the future is that they won't make me laugh like how I make myself laugh. Like they'll be like, mommy, and then they'll tell a joke and I'll be like, oh no, it's not funny. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I have to mush your face, baby, because I can't do this. You're not funny. But if they're not funny, I feel like it'll be my husband's fault. I'm saying that right now. Anybody watching this is going to be like, but you're not that funny. Well, then why are you here? Click off, bro. You can go to any other funny content. Scroll. I'll never understand people who be in the comments like, this isn't funny. This sucks. Like Drew Follow be saying, they be in the comments straight hating. It's like, bruh. You can just click off the video. You literally can go to your history on YouTube. You can just delete. That's all you gotta do. That's what I'm gonna do. If anybody comes up into these comments on some negative bullshit, block. I remember Matt Post. If anybody who watched Vine remember Matt Post, he's hilarious. And he did a video where it was like, hey, you deleted my comment. And he's like, oh, I did? What did you say? And it's like, I said, because he had deleted the comment. And he's like, hey, you did it again. That's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. Block, 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 block everybody. Block everybody. If you are, well, let me not say that. You shouldn't block everybody unless you are moved to. I am personally about my peace these days. And because I'm doing shadow work, and because at some point when the health insurance comes through, I'll be doing therapy. And a lot of people have sent me options for therapy for free, and then I click in that shit and it's not for free. So don't be sending me no options. I've looked. I've been all over the websites. I drive to locations. I've got in there and had my face completely smashed and been like, yeah, so I saw you offer a free option. And they're like, oh, by free, we mean you get the first 2 sessions for free and then everything else you got to pay for. Well, that's not free then. Like, what am I do with that? That's like having to go to a hospital to fix your leg, and they're like, all right, the consultation's free. And I'm like, but my leg is broke. And they're like, yeah, but the consultation? Free, homie. No, bruh. No, we're not doing that. Message of hope. Bro, I tell y'all what, anybody who be staying through these videos, I so appreciate you. Mostly just because it's nice. It's nice to have people in the comments be like, hey, what's going on? How are you? You look nice in your video. Thank you for encouraging me. You know, if I even get to that, because so much of this has been just me having to be authentic with myself. And one of the big issues I had when I first started these videos was I wasn't cussing. I cuss. I do. Not like a sailor. I mean, sometimes I be getting at it. But in my daily life, I cuss. In most of my jobs, my bosses cuss. Like CEOs of healthcare companies, like jobs that I've had. People who've worked in the church, you know, and they're like, you know, they get on stage and they're, you know, doing the, you know, holy, doing that, talking to everybody. And then we start talking at their house afterwards for the potluck, and they, bitch, this. Like, bruh, I don't know why we're out here faking the fuck. If you don't cuss, that is totally fine. I love that for you. And if it's like not a choice, you just don't, or if it is a choice, I love that for you. But I really got on here trying not to cuss. In my first video, I remember there being a couple times where I wanted to throw in a shit or a goddamn, and I didn't do that because I was like, but what if the audience thinks, ain't nobody care about you? Ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody really care. If this message of hope, you know what is great? You know what is really great? How can I connect this to hope somehow? This is usually where the brainstorming happens and I write a script, but you see, we're not doing that. So, stay hopeful. Things are going to continue to get better. And as things continue to get better, be your most authentic self. Because I heard somebody say, if you tell your doctor that you have a headache when you're having like bowel problems or something, your doctor is going to prescribe you medication for your headache. Now, we know that usually doctors will do like a full thing and they'll figure it out, but just go with me here for the sake of the metaphor or the analogy or whatever this is. If you are not showing up as your most authentic self, real moment here, you are doing yourself and all the people that you know in your life right now a disservice. Because what's happening is you are training people to treat you in a way that does not align with who you actually are. Okay? Lock it in with me right now. I know we were doing a message of hope, but this is actually, like, I feel it in my soul. This is really important. Somebody or some people, what up, collective, whoever is watching, lock it in with me right now. If you are not showing up as your most authentic self every day, people are going to treat you like who you are pretending to be. And the people who are your people are not going to find you. They can't find you. I, for years, have been wanting my people, my weird gamers who like music. Like, I'm really trying to find this community, but my entire life, I have been so performative. And I was trained to be this way, and most of us were trained to be this way because we have been told to be ashamed of who we are and what we like and what we want to do with our lives. It's come from society, it has come from church, it has come from parents, it has come from your job, all kinds of places where we were taught. I think shame in certain aspects is good. If you've been a dick You should feel bad about that, but you should not feel bad about who you are as a person. If you like doing weird stuff and you like being a little weirdo, as long as you're not hurting anybody, do you, little weirdo. Be weird. And as I've been doing these videos, what I'm realizing is how much I censor myself. I censor myself so much. And a big reason why I was doing it was because I was like, well, what if an employer sees this? Do I even want to work for a company where every day, all day, I'm literally having to put on a mask? I'm up under that mask, sweating, hot, angry. Like, do I want to do? I don't want to do that. I mean, other people might have time, but I don't. I'm tired. And I'm 31, and I have been living this masking life since I was probably 11. And I'm tired. And I know you're probably tired too. And for those of you who are watching who've been tired and you are now showing up as your most authentic self, first off, oh my gosh, I love that for you. I fucking love that. I love seeing people be their most authentic selves. Now, sometimes people's most authentic selves suck. And in those cases, I love humanity from a distance. From guess where? Behind the black button, homie. Black. I'm so glad that you are being your most authentic self. Black. I mean, you are free to be who you're going to be, but you're not free from your consequences. That's something my dad always says. You are free to be an asshole, but you are not free from the consequences of what that will bring you. And a lot of people got time today. I've been saying this for years. You know what? That person, they cussed me out and called me the N-word with the hard R. It has happened. And I was like, well, first off, that says more about how you feel about yourself and society than what that says about me, because I'm just out here living my best life. But then people are like, you didn't say something? You didn't tell him about himself? I'm like, no, because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that bullshit. But you know what? Somebody does. Universal justice, baby. I go home and I'm making what do I want to make? My baked potato. That's why my username is Tato the Penguin, by the way. I love baked potatoes. I'll have a baked potato breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you could put anything in a baked potato. That's a video for another time. But I'll be there making my baked potato while you are getting your ass beat in a Walmart parking lot because you really thought that guy wasn't going to swing on you for saying what you said. I'm not going to swing on you. But somebody else might swing. So while you are all being your most authentic selves, I warn you, make sure your most authentic self, this is why therapy and shadow work are so important. Make sure your most authentic self is somebody that you are proud to be, that you feel good being. Listen, my love, life is too short. Life is too short. It is too short. Look at me. Right here. Life is too short to keep pretending to be somebody that you're not. Okay? It's too short. You've wasted enough time. We've all wasted enough time. This is why society is beginning to collapse, because we've wasted enough time on bullshit that does not matter. 2025. I believe that is the year where things that you have sown, you reap it. And I believe that every day we're reaping what we sow, really. But I think for me, 2025, I'm actually very excited. I keep getting spiritual downloads, if you will, of really good stuff that's going to happen in 2025. Currently, I am, or historically, because I like to speak positively, I've been unemployed. I am currently still married legally, but we're not. That's not a thing no more. That's not a thing no more. And the reason legally why we're still together is because I cannot afford to get divorced. I also cannot afford a lawyer because I got those papers. I read through all those papers, and divorce papers, y'all, they are legalese. They are legalese to me. So, we just hanging out here. We just chilling. But I know it's gonna come. See, I said this video wasn't gonna be as long as the last one. I don't lie to everybody. Just untruthful. I was gonna say untruthful Annie, but untruthful starts with a U, so untruthful Ursula. That's who I was being. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. When she said that, I was like, I mean, is she that bad though? Is she really that bad? She can sing. She got a body. Okay, no, I'm done. But seriously, you owe it to yourself to be authentic. I here, within the spiritual, am supporting you in that endeavor. And again, if it turns out authentically you're a dick, I I support you from afar. Behind the block button. But that's what I'm saying. That's what we got. So I think I probably could go on, but I'm not gonna, because we've reached 30 minutes. Can I be done? They said I can be done. Okay, well, I love you guys, but I'll see you at some other point, and I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow.